It's important.
Good God. This is like 2010.
But Skies could be bringing that over, you know? Like, come on, guys, we all need team shoes.
They started infecting Alfama. It's done. It's over. Sua has already fallen to the other
Turn
side.
into a pandemic.
Yeah, it really is. So here we go. We're going to play Villa.
All right.
So the only map that we haven't played so far would be Cafe Dostoevsky. If we look at...
Coast.
Coast. Did we see an EU? It wasn't an EU.
Oh, you're talking about...
Yeah. I'm combining everything.
Okay.
I think overall, Cafe is the only one that hasn't been played. We've seen Villa now play twice. Border played twice.
Well, Villa was an interesting one earlier. Between these two teams, they know it very well. Should be interesting again. We'll see if it ends up someone attacker-sided or not.
I mean, TSM, both TSM and Reciprocity had a lot of experience on it going into it. Well, let's just say that it didn't go the way that Reciprocity were expecting it to.
No, definitely not.
It was our hyped-up match of the night.
Yeah. It should have been, to be honest. It was.
What do you guys think?
One-sided.
60% for Spacestation Gaming, 33%
They've been steadily building up a fan base, for sure.
I think a lot of people were surprised that winning USN doesn't qualify you for Invitational. I'm like, why would a national tournament?
Yeah, like we have nationals all over the place. You have like the Russian nationals, French nationals. None of those qualify you for that event. So that's kind of how it works, guys.
Come on.
Qualifies you to win some money. That's always nice.
Actually, a decent chunk of money at the end of it. So
yeah, the thing that surprised me is that there was 3 former members of Rogue playing there, so they had 3 chances to hold their title. Still couldn't. That's how I hyped it up. Come on. We'll see what the bans are, though. We've had some interesting ones today to an extent. Goyo has yet to be banned, but not much played. So far, we only saw him for 2 rounds of Border, and that's it. Habana getting banned here on Villa, always an interesting one, but that is a useful operator on this map. So not a huge surprise. This means you have to play around that. It is interesting, though, that that's coming out from DarkZero. Skies had played a lot of Habana on Reciprocity. Dokubi going to go, though. Definitely something that could be pretty strong. Coming out from Bosco, if I remember correctly. He will still potentially have the Jackal for smokes or the Gridlock.
I would just be excited to see Slash play the Dokebi Boss G again.
Yeah.
Even though he's not here, but...
He's here in spirit doing it.
Yes, please.
Well, again, no Goyo ban. See, everyone was afraid that Goyo was just going to be banned all the time and played all the time. Now I know it's early, and that will develop over time, but... The scare factor doesn't seem to be there.
And the 4 ops that we see here are just very normal operators. Yeah. There's nothing too special about it. I think this is the first.
The Dokubi ban's the only like semi-unusual
and
one. Even
then, it's when you look at it as Villa, you're like, yeah, it's actually.
I can understand that.
I'll go behind that.
Yeah, I mean, there's quite a few ops you could ban on attack on Villa that'd be useful. But it definitely will help the roam.
Fuse.
Definitely not Fuse. Goyo, 6th pick, though, by Mint.
Goyo's not on tap. Oh, no, this is what you mean. Okay.
Yeah. It's good. Thank you, Mint. I appreciate that.
I really want to see how they set up for this one because it's not so easy to shoot out the Volcans from top 4, right?
Yeah.
So from above, it's a bit difficult, but...
Right, so one in bathroom.
Let's just watch the Goyo.
Yeah, I want to see where these get put up. Because
I want Emzo to fall asleep.
Well, we need to establish a meta with these.
I want Emzo to fall asleep tonight, knowing that all the Goyo spots have been seen.
There's 2. All right, one to go.
All right.
So that one's good for the
drops down. Can we drop down with him? Yes.
All right, Mint, you got to put it up quick so we don't get bored. Don't go across the map with it. All right, there we go. Last one there to guard.
Yeah.
Laundry entrance.
So you corner people into bedroom. You don't allow them to grab bathroom easily at all.
So you don't allow them to take from above or from below easily, essentially.
Essentially, and that makes a lot of sense, doesn't it?
It's a great use of the Goyos. You could even potentially set up angles through the floor where you can shoot, where you can be playing down below and shoot the Goyos from below potentially. Those might have to be pretty long angles though because there is a bit of a like a bezel or whatever you want to call it, little metal frame around it. So you have to get kind of a bit longer angles. You can't have it as shallow.
Yeah.
But I imagine you could set up some from through the floor though that would be relatively safe to play to hit those if someone was pushing in, but you probably don't need to. You probably don't need to babysit them. Just make it a pain for them to get in. We'll see that Jackal play here though from Bosco. As I said, he's been playing pretty good on the Jackal and or the Gridlock, so he could be the smoke for Canadian's plant and get different kinds of utility depending on what they need. Both of them good for dealing with roamers and flanks. So either way, you'd be pretty good at that.
Bosco checking for anybody peeking around the study. Definitely not the case here, but maybe something that was seen in scrimmages before. Let's see. Faults with the Zofia already downstairs here. He's going to move up closer and actually find
Hyper.
Jaeger. This is great here, catching Hyper off in the rotation, but he's going to get killed himself here off of the mudroom. Sky is moving out, and he also had Hot and Cold to give him info. Unfortunately, they're a bit too slow.
With the Goyos in play, trading a Jaeger for the Zofia, absolutely worth it.
Yep. Now it's going to be pretty much all up to Rampy to do all of that.
Yeah, you can hit and back off just enough and not take damage. It looks like they might have cleared some of them out already anyways. Now just opening up angles from Joel. Jackal also tracking some player downstairs far off. As C4 went off, didn't do any damage. So looking decent for the attackers so far outside of losing Fultz. But they have burned 2 minutes now. They need to try and find some picks. And this is where teams really kind of mess up in terms of stalling out hard here, trying to get picks from above. At the very least, though, it looks like we might be able to get footprints from above. So that's going to be Pulse getting tracked down. That's a good person to track. He has burned to C4, but he's still going to be someone worth trying to keep track of, as he's going to be keeping track of you most of the time. And there's the C4 there from Eclipse. Might have been helped by the Pulse, as you see Hot and Cold looking up there. So that is the second one. The Jackal now off the board, so Pulse will be safe once those pings stop.
At least the wall has been opened up here from laundry room. You just go in and plant the dining, but Eclipse, a great shot here. Reminding me a lot of how NBK was running this a bit before, but Rampy takes down Eclipse, a 2v3, but there's so little time. SSG have to walk on in and go for the gunfights, but there's so many angles they have to watch for here. 2 players in kitchen as Skies will go for 1. Thinking Nate is all on his own. Skies is low on HP, but it doesn't matter. Hot and Cold collects the last. DarkZero win back the round. I love the way that they doubled up in the living room.
Yeah.
Even though they lost the Jaeger, they were able to get the refract immediately on the Zofia, and the Goyo in the end didn't have much of a real effect.
No, it slowed them down a ton, so they got choked up in the bedroom.
Yeah, it forced Spacestation out of the idea of, yeah, we're gonna take bedroom and then use that position to, push below.
Yeah.
It forced them to just come into laundry without any other preparation.
And that's the thing, is they usually do push from laundry eventually, but the thing is when you get slowed down, Goyo is great against SSG right now, because if you watched USN, SSG are playing a bit more Vitality style. They take a long time to get to execute. They get down to like the last 20 seconds or so, and then they usually smoke for Canadian to plant. And that worked for them very well throughout USN. However, if you bring Goyo like they did last round, or you bring Mozzie like they did last round, things like that slow them down, that is the way to deal with them right now. That, and I would like to see teams bring Warden against them, because they really like to use the smokes for planting. And we don't see that often. You don't really see a Warden very often for dealing with smoke. He's more so for, like, say, server stairs on bank, dealing with flashbangs.
10 seconds to go.
You'll see them set up their defense upstairs here, though. So they will be playing in Aviator games, but setting up a little bit of reinforcements and trophy to make it a little bit harder for them to take the master bedroom. As you said, that is kind of the gateway to this map. They're going to have extra cams around as well from Eclipse. That's going to be on the Valkyrie this time. They have the K to be able to help hold the walls. He's very helpful for holding the walls here between his Electro Claws that can now hit 3 panels and the Impact Nades. Both of those very good for stalling out anyone from opening, especially with a Thermite charge, trying to get in through the study. Right now just trying to find any openings they can. You see Rampy there on drones, for example, and the rotate switching up between Fultz and Bosco, taking up different positions. But they've got to hit their checklist. Again, they are very slow in their attacks these days. Time management can be an issue for them, so they need to make sure they execute on their checklist items quickly to have enough time left to go for an actual execute. They're not playing the Buck, even though it is available. They do have the Jack who could hit from below, but instead it looks like they want to hit from below with nades. You saw a grenade being cooked up there by, I believe it was Rampy for a second. But I don't know if it ever went off. Good shield usage even if they're not bringing the Goyo. Trying to help hold the study doorway here.
I think just having that extra level of destruction is the reason why you're not seeing so much Buck and way more Sledge.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, no, they just go into the site.
Hello,
Mint! He collects 2 kills. How is he even alive?
He's got like 2 HP left.
How? You sneeze on the man and he falls. His whiskers are literally the only thing keeping him alive. Canadian's going to be forced back for just a second there with all the smokes thrown into his face, but it's a 3v5. A lot of damage has already been done to Mint, but it doesn't really matter in the end. Like, how much can Canadian last right now? It's not going to have that much of an impact. The wall has been opened up. Mint wasn't able to really do anything with his Zertilas, and Hot Cold will be forced back for now. Thinking nade, grabbing one, but in Hot Cold with another one. Finding the headshot, the SMG-11. Bosco, great shot on the skies. Now it's a 3v2 with solo HP. This is a potential comeback in the round for Space.
It's Bosco Canadian. If any duo could do it on this team, it's these two.
Hot Cold playing behind the indestructible bar there, so you got to be careful. The Evil Eye is giving information and making sure that Space Station can't just rush from the side without being contested. There's the preparation. Eclipse missing his shots. Unfortunately, no Nitrocell for him to use. Bosco will find Hot and Cold. They're going to walk right on in, but they forget about him. The Valkyrie coming around will find one kill. Spraying through the second, pulls out the Deagle. Just playing on A, playing the smoke in his advantage. Firing down on the Jackal, but there's one kill. Mint, last alive with barely any health. It doesn't matter. The headshot comes on through. We forgot all about him. There he was.
That was a game of very violent hide and seek. Just very extreme peeks, pokes, just trying to get in anywhere they could. I mean, it was a great attempt by Bosco Canadian trying to fight 3 like that, but unfortunately it was 3. They kept trading and left down to Mint, taking him in the end, just because they had the one-man advantage. That's all it takes. Like you said, the 2 HP and a dream, and, well, dream came true. So, DarkZero, starting off strong. Definitely showing TSM-level defense here in terms of just continuous defense wins.
You know, I want to get your point of view on this, Devin, because the Jackal so far has been kind of meh over the 2 times we've had Villa played. So
honestly, a lot of times, especially on a big map, you can, like even Bank, you can catch someone. Bank is a little more contained on your rotates, whereas on this map, I think you could ping someone, and it doesn't do you a whole lot of good because a lot of times they're on a different part of the map you can't execute on, or they're in a position you can't get them from above. So you see, for example, a lot of these top-down attacks, right? So like the first one when they were going to attack Dining, you could ping people all day long. Yes, it's great extra intel. The problem is it doesn't really do anything to get that kill from it, or to even really contain them much if they're on site or in a position where they're far off on the map. They tend to change positions quick. And you talk about the nerf to the timing of the ping, so it's a bit shorter a lot of times. I think he's still a very effective operator, but the effectiveness in terms of getting kills from his pings has decreased, and it can be a bit map dependent. It is great on large maps in theory, but if you can't execute on that with kills and good map coverage, I can understand why it doesn't turn into a whole lot. I mean, sometimes it's almost about as effective as someone getting pinged by the alibi prismas, but they're outside in a place where you're not going to get them anyways. I mean, we'll see. Bosco's been a fantastic Jackal player overall, and you saw him even go for a ping and a smoke at the same time to try and get good positioning on the players last time. It's not all about his gadget, but he has a great secondary shotgun that can be very useful. He has a great primary gun, the C70, and he's got the smokes. He's a decent operator. I don't think, you know, his utility has not been as effective. He's not necessarily fragging out, but I still think he's worth bringing if smoke plants are very important to him.
There's the first grenade going off, and Eclipse will take a bit of damage off of Rampy. Drone will come in, and actually 2 of them, and they both survive. This is actually huge. Keeping those drones for later round information gathering is really big. SSG are going to be able to set them up in 90 here, and Rampy will actually put himself in this position specifically. Mewhammer blocks him for a second, but it's fine. He can still keep on creeping his way up 90.
Oh, they're stacked pretty hard here.
Yeah, this can be very good, but also very bad if your opponents realize what's going on and push on you. And I think this is going to be the same strategy coming up from Space Station: is thermite the wall into the. Oh no! Gets shot in the air. This is huge, but this is what you. Did it get shot or it just got destroyed with the electricity?
Yeah, hard to say.
Sure.
Either way, it was ineffective.
Yeah,
Ozzy gets downed as well.
There's the kill, and now you can just go and plant behind that indestructible bar. That's the entire strategy. Both walls are open up for you to play with. Eclipse will dodge 1 flashbang thrown into him. The second one will come in, but it will be successful. There's False with 1 more, and there's the fire. Eclipse will miss the shots. False hits it. And the diffuser, well, is it still safe? Yes, it is. Canadian side, and they have to push in to the bottom floor. This is kind of a border-style defensive setup.
Yeah, I mean, they needed to clear that top floor to play down from above. But again, time management becomes an issue when you're playing down from above and you don't get kills. However, the fact that they got 2 initial kills is helpful, but you're down to 30 seconds and most of your team is upstairs. There's not hatches to drop down in a lot of places on this map. Yes, there are some, but not as many in vital spots as some other maps. Bosco, though, you're talking about the Jackal, he is still effective at getting kills. That's one more player down. 2v5 now, despite Fultz's low health. Skies can't land any of those important shots.
Mint on his own. It's a 5v1 now. Bosco will find 1 kill. Sky's spraying out. Finally pulls out the pistol, but it doesn't matter. He might be able to find 1 kill, but Rampy is there. He got very close there for Space Station, but he'll grab around. It happens.
Yeah, they're very first, though. This has so far been a very DarkZero dominated map, and
it is still attacking side on Villa, so how, you know.
Yeah, like I said, I don't know how much that applies anymore in terms of the meta, but it was Library, so that was already a bad choice.
That is a bad choice.
I mean, it's not indefensible. We saw it defended by TSM just fine, and we saw it just now attempted, at least, by DarkZero, but they had too many. They're split up too far from each other, lose too many people, and it's not a great side to defend. Mint, again, going to try with the Goyo on Dining Room here. We saw it help a bit last time. I imagine the placements might be similar, if not the exact same. 3 Goyo shields, they did help the win previously. Not a direct contributor in terms of kills or anything like that, but they caused enough delay to basically win on time. So we'll see. There's the first one, similar, going into the bathroom. Imagine the second one gonna go into the doorway position again once he gets his reinforcements up. He's also great at setting up a lot of destruction as well with the TCSG-12, the slug shotgun, and the impact nades. He can open up a lot as well for angles, things like that.
10 seconds
Overall,
to
just
go.
a very, very strong, useful operator. So it does surprise me to see how little he's been brought, because I think he is just an overall great operator. And if you don't like the TCSG, you have the Vector as another option, which we know is very strong for Mira. So it's like, there's no going wrong with Goyo. Unless you put the shields in positions where you accidentally kill your teammates, then, well, that's going wrong. There's the last one there for the laundry door. Hold that off as long as possible. Eclipse setting up extra barricades and reinforcements here to make sure they can't push in as easily to the flanks to go for a plant. Last time they did try and sneak in for the last minute plant. But if you're DarkZero, you know all you've got to do is just burn a lot of time. And SSG will lose it on time at that point. They just haven't been able to get a lot of... I mean, they do a great job trying to thin out DarkZero early, but if you don't give them kills, they don't get as many. It's really what it comes down to. It's simple. They did spot the Goyo shield there. I mean, they know where the Goyo shield positions are from last time they attacked, so there's nothing that's going to give them any kind of big advantage here. Just confirming what they already probably know.
There's no real change, but I really want to see how they tackle this here, SSG, because last time it just seemed like the shields themselves weren't really doing any work, but they were at least forcing...
I think
SSG.
Fultz might have killed them both before dying.
Did he?
And I think that might have been the case. It's hard to say. I mean, he did die, but they were like the top 2 were taken out. So I mentioned, oh,
Okay.
Fultz, great catch on Skies' attempt to run away.
First of all,
Rampy though.
how is Skies even there and not droned the whole time?
Mozzie. That's the only thing I can think of. That and a quick rotate.
It is so odd to just have him sitting there, especially as a Legion.
Yeah.
But fair enough. DarkZero will find a kill on the sledge, so it obviously limits you a lot when it comes to your destruction. You don't have the soft destruction, plus you don't have those grenades anymore. You're going to have to over-rely on Zofia to deal with Goyo shields. I'm not sure if the grenades were used before to really do any work.
Oh.
Bosco gets shot as he drops. This is huge. Hyper finds the kill. Very necessary there. Even though there is no echo, at least you can, you know, spot out the pulse here and there. That's a great gun to have, regardless there with Commando. No, still leaves Eclipse in a very strong position. Playing by the bike rack here, and also trying to move in. Players down on the floor, and they're waiting for him.
Attackers have located a bomb.
I assume Eclipse is sitting behind the wall there.
Scanning.
Is he? Yeah, he is. It looks like the Mozzie. They're trying to find him. And drones are going to come in. There's 25 seconds left. You were talking about slow playstyle. This is definitely the case here. Faults will find Eclipse. That's the play you're looking for, but it's a 3v3. There's one coming out the corner. Faults finds the headshot on Hot and Cold. A 3K for him on the Zofia. But Mint, TCSG, making a lot of work done here. Though Mint is on the floor. He's not actually dead, though. He's going to sneak around and try to find the kill. There you go. He takes down Canadian, worming his way to victory inside of Kitchen. The first time he got fired upon, I'm like, oh my, they dropped him. This is an actually possible plant. But no,
Nope.
wasn't the case. He did it on his own.
Got to finish the job.
He played for time, and that's what I really appreciate about that play. Still, DarkZero with 3 rounds on the defense. Great, but not great enough. One more would be a pretty good start.
Yeah, I mean, definitely they've shown that they can defend dining room with the best of them, especially with the delays they're able to create upstairs. Also, though, I think Spacestation did a much swifter job of setting up that time, at least in terms of getting downstairs and getting set up for some pushes, trying to get some picks, trying to make up for what the problem they had the first time, which was just stacking up upstairs and trying to find picks through the floor. The problem was that still didn't give them an execute. You saw Canadian having to rush in while he's losing teammates everywhere. They just didn't have a lot of downstairs control because so much time is spent upstairs. Even when they get downstairs early, they're not able to control a ton of the map because they've lost players by that point. So they're not able to have the level of coverage that they want, either up or down. So their execute attempts aren't really being covered properly by smokes. So Canadian's not able to get into a position where he could just, oh, I'll plant and be fine. The problem is when you're trading blow for blow against defenders, and let's say you're 3v3 at the end, you're essentially 3v2 because if you got to plant, someone's got to be off their gun planting. So it's just not a great position to be in. The smokes kind of help fix that a little bit by cutting off the defender's line of sight. But if you don't get those out, Canadian's in an almost unwinnable position because it was like 1v2, 1v3, where he has to turn it into a 0v2 or 0v3 by planting. So we're not seeing the smoothness of executes that we saw from them at USN. But DarkZero's also been doing a great job slowing things down and also making a lot of good trades. We're seeing some great plays from pretty much everyone on the team for the most part. Trying to find picks wherever they can. And also good use of utility. There's that shield again, similar to last time where they hold the shield towards the doorway from the top of the stairs to be able to guard study. Didn't really stop them last time from entering study in terms of the attackers, but it does help a little bit. Make it so that it's unsafe. It does spot the player behind there. Makes it a little unsafer to hit the barbed wire that's in the doorway of study as well. Just thinking and hoping to catch someone on a lucky angle. Good drone position there from Rampy as well. Smoke's already coming out early from Hot and Cold, but Canadian the one to find a pick on Skies early. Not great. Bosco lost half his health in the process, though, and they need to keep Bosco alive. Instead of the Jackal, he's going with the Capitao, a little bit different way to play a similar smoke roll, but you also get fire, something you don't get with Capitao, outside of the the tip of his gun, of course.
I'd just be glad that Bosco was kept alive in the Capitao.
Yeah.
It would have been a shame.
Oh, did the ADS eat that?
Yeah, it did. So that's one taken away. At least not a frag grenade.
There's still one. Yep, there you saw that last charge go off on the wall.
There's the flashbang. Go for it. You can deal with it. You got Bosco here that can just throw in one of his crossbow bolts, even deny Hyper the ability to just maneuver so easily.
Oh, the firebolt.
Shield, it's spreading, but it's not actually spreading into Hot and Cold. It's doing a lot of damage to him, but he's still alive. And you can't obviously just push up from the stairs themselves. It's such a difficult position to play against. You really have to be careful there with Nitro Cell coming up. Bosco, a great shot onto Hyper. Nitro Cell being set up by Mint, but he's mostly setting up to deal with any players downstairs. There's nobody actually coming in with that sort of pressure anytime soon. Bosco's going to rotate away. Maybe he's the one to go for it. He's checking. Mint going for the Tila. I'll be able to hit both of those walls. Unfortunately, all the charge is going on the other wall, perpendicular to it. There'll be an entry here for the attackers of Space Station, but a lot of players taking a lot of damage, and Eclipse will capitalize. Canadian is dead.
Well, that means Diffuser now down on the ground with 30 seconds left. Someone has to pick up the slack. Rampy, though, going for kills instead. Who's going to grab it and go for that plant? 25 seconds to find out. They could just go for frags here, Hot and Cold on low health.
No. Mint through the smoke will take one bullet damage. Nitro Cell ready up to go. Nobody on the diffuser and will not connect. Unfortunately, that came in a bit too slow. Rampy going for the plant. 1 second left. We'll be able to set it. Bosco's supposedly here on the floor with Rampy and Faults Thinking nade as well here in support. That's Mint dead, and Spacestation Gaming collect another round.
A lot of that due to Bosco's great pick on Hyper, the Maestro on the stairs. That was the problem they were going to have to deal with, because they spent so much utility taking out that shield or trying to fight the player on the shield. The big problem, though, was Hyper came up and pre-fired, gave away his position a little too early. I'm not sure that they knew he was there. He went for the pre-fire, and then immediately after he tried to retreat from that, that's when he got picked off by Bosco. And that was a big problem, because he was a great deterrent right there in deterring them from coming into study, because he could spray 80 bullets into that doorway, so it's very difficult to cross that.
Losing the Maestro not only meant that you would lose the stairs, but as you said, you lose the study, and that's double as bad.
Well, we'll see them try Goyo for Aviator this time, having won it, then lost it, and wanting something a little bit different. I agree with that. It's definitely great on these doorways, for example. You can guard both doorways. You can also, well, set up really all 3 doorways. You can have 2 in Aviator and then the 1 in Gangs.
Here's the question, though. Since we haven't really seen that Goyo combination, I don't really think it is really a combination, but...
So the combination, the way it works is if you electrocute the shield, you deny Ash the ability to take out the shield. So if someone is using Ash regularly, then yeah.
But here's my question, is that in the case that they're bringing the Goyo, especially in more confined spaces like this, do you kind of want your opponents to open up the walls and try to push in from there and then use the Goyo shields to your advantage?
You can actually set it next to the reinforced wall, and when the reinforced wall explodes via a thermite charge, it will actually explode up the shield and then send the fire to both sides of that entrance, so they won't be able to rush through it. With SH being low on time, if they're going for a breach late in the round, that could actually be useful to move a shield there, but you're usually going to have all 3 deployed by then. However, it's not a bad idea. If you know they regularly go for a strategy where that will counter it, it can be pretty helpful, but just having it in doorways and forcing them to commit utility to it, you saw how much utility they forced them to commit with just a single deployable shield last round. Like, you can really burn up a lot and then force this, especially if you can pick off the sledge, so they don't have any renewable sort of a utility to take care of it. Because right now, the sledge and the Zofia are the only ones that can take out the shields. If you can kill one of those players early, knowing that they're going to be going for a pick on the shield, like when they go to peek it, you take them out. Like that right there, for example.
There you go. That's one of those Volcans that has been destroyed.
That's the only unfortunate problem with that one is, yes, you do burn their thing, but they are going to take it out early, and it's not really going to be very effective because they can peek that one so easily through the doorway. Almost better if you put it slightly around the corner or even blocking the back of the display case so they can't get through the display case to plant.
I agree. I agree.
Well, you see another deployable shield here, probably just a regular one this time.
Yeah. I assume so. It's the same strategy as used in the previous round.
This is more just an adjustment by adding 3 more shields.
Exactly. I assume the Maestro is also in position here. You're trying to burn off that shield. And I assume it's been destroyed as well, because, yeah, there we go. There was a Goyo shield set next to it. You see the fire on the floor, or was that from the Capitao? No, that was the Capitao. Okay. So that was Bosco trying to burn in combination.
Like he did last round.
Yeah, exactly the same as the last round.
Burn and stun.
Exactly. So it works well. You also destroy the shield. I'm not sure if they were able to force the Maestro back. The Evil Eye is still in play as you see it. There's no real way to destroy it without expending utility. Well, you can also breach hammer it, so there's that.
Problem is now they've expended all their grenades and their Zofia lifelines. They have to sledge shields at this point if they want to take out any more Goyos.
So what's the play here? You'll see the Capitao rotating around the map, maybe to put pressure on the back.
Oh, he did have one where I was kind of saying a little bit more inside.
Tucked in.
Yeah, tucked in a bit more. I still think it's better closer to the display case, but that's still not a bad spot. Because he can peek it from games through the softball hole and hit it when they try and rush in for a plant.
What?
Well, they're just going to try and open stuff up here.
Was it not close enough?
It's not.
Because it was put right on... Okay, that was odd.
Well, now they've got the wall open here from behind bar. Now they can't play there safely. At least 1 toxic canister used, if not more. Not sure how many Hot and Cold has left, but 23 seconds left of Fultz. Finding heads, and so is Rampy.
Spacestation looking for the walk-in, but there's 1 player behind the bar. It's Hot and Cold. He'll get 1. Rampy, though, the kill on Hyper. We'll see all Spacestation trying to rush on in and take down H&C, and they will be successful in it. Mint is trying to lock himself in, but everybody's running around him, and he's in a 4v1. Those Goyo shields won't do much for him, but he finds 2 kills. Goes in for the reload. It's definitely possible here with the TCSG. And 1v2, even though you don't have a Nitro Cell or anything of the sorts, it's always a possibility with the power that this gun gives you. Unfortunately, don't have a ton of ammo in it, and the two angles have been set up, one in 90 and the other one all the way from the balcony here. There you go. Easy kill for Foltz on the Zofia. That's the round.
Well, 3-3. This is about how I would have expected it from these two teams. More balanced. We'll see, though. Side switches could definitely imbalance things a little bit. We don't always get mirror matches when the side switch. Sometimes something changes. It could be momentum. Could just be exhaustion kicking in, although there's a best of one, so it's less likely. But sometimes people get tilted a bit. Just psychological issues that carry in over to the side switch. But SSG winning the last two in a row have the momentum right now. We'll see how they can play on their defense, though. Folt's going to 6-pick over to what? Castle. We've been seeing a lot of 6-pick Castle today. It's been, pretty effective in terms of them not making any changes to help counter it. Like in this case, they're not bringing a sledge to deal with it, but they've still got the Zofia and the Ash. I guess Buck can nade them as well.
Yeah.
In theory, you can also breach them with Thermite, but you're never really going to see that.
Bomb located by attackers.
Plenty of opportunity here, but it was always good to hide it. Canadian going to be on his favorite pulse there. See the stats for the bomb sites as well from the last 6 months. Overall, defense in a good position, but Library's stats have not been updated after the wins and losses earlier, I guess. Well, I guess we had one win earlier when it was played, and it would just be the one from this match that would affect it, I suppose. That will ruin its 100% win rate, as it was lost when SSG attacked it. Get the old Maestro in the typical spot there. Nice deployable shield as well to peek around from Astronomy's connector. See if that gets used, but Rampy could put that to great effect with that ACOG on the Alba, which I imagine he has. Even with the Hollow, though, you're still good at fighting at long range with that many bullets. It's okay to not be as zoomed in. See, we're going to see Eclipse on the Ash here. Interesting choice, and Skies on Buck. Some nice shifts from the usual lineup in terms of how they play it. So it'll only be someone like Nyx on the Ash, who they lost and replaced with Eclipse. So I suppose that makes sense in terms of taking up the same role.
And then like Sky is running the IQ, right?
I guess BC would have been on Buck sometimes. So maybe it's a kind of a straight 1-for-1 swap.
Well, next up, Skies is going to shave his head. So
there you go. And Taro first, now Skies.
Rest in peace, North America.
He's just got to make a bet. If he wants to guarantee head shave, he could bet NA will win something.
Oh my.
It's not my fault.
I didn't say that.
It's not my fault.
Well, they won USN.
I guess.
So, Eclipse is now on the rappel. He's looking for rotations, any quick peeks. And, well, actually, Hyper's going to be one to go for. No, he gets shot from the side! Rampy, oh my, he's still on that staircase. Oh, nobody was expecting him there. The drones were just not in position. This is... That should not have happened.
Yeah, that was definitely just too many missed shots. Didn't go for the head. He was aiming a bit too...
He didn't even know the Maestro was on the Astronomy stairs.
Yeah, these surprise Maestros on the stairs are definitely effective.
Lights out.
This guy's... He has an idea someone might be below him, and there is. He just needs to capitalize. There we go. Doesn't hit the angle because of the bars. Unfortunate.
Yeah, he's going to be forced back for now. You hear the Ash charge going off. Eclipse opening things up.
The important thing is they got this top floor control. It turns into a death. Canadian's so good on pulse, always. You can't do much about that. You really need to take him out. That's where you need that IQ, just to be able to counter Canadian. Foltz, though, with a nice kill as well, bringing it down to a 2v4. Looking like Spacestation might get early advantage, continue their momentum from the last 2 rounds.
There's the one hold that you'd love to have. I guess this was set up by the defense.
It's a good counterplay as well. Problem is, in that example right there, your feet show first. So you're at a disadvantage because of that lip. Oh, and he sees the feet. He knows he's there. He can't hit him. Yep. No. There we go.
Oh my God, they're unsure. They didn't know that Rampy was on the other side, and he gets 2 off of it. Rampy, oh my.
The best surprise Maestro in NA, apparently.
There's 1 kill, and pop. There's, oh my God, that was skeet shooting right there.
Well, good start for SS.
The way he dropped.
Might as well have been into a hole 6 feet down.
Oh my God.
That was terrible for him.
That's hilarious.
That's the problem when you have 81 bullets. You don't even really have to reload, so you can just be ready for that next one. Canadian on the Warden. Is he actually going to stick that? They don't really go for smoke plants. Maybe they go for flashes that he's trying to counter. No, he's going to 6 it. That makes more sense. Oh, Hot and Cold is going to bring out the smoke, though. The sneaky switch from the hard breach.
Okay.
You don't expect the hard breach to switch off, especially on a bomb site like this.
Defenders, protect your bombs.
They definitely have a lot of hard walls you could hit, so interesting choice. You see there how the rounds are broken down so far. Most of those, a mix of attack and defense wins, although a couple of attack wins towards the end for SSG, and then one defense win just now. So far, SSG have the lead, but things could shift. We are going to see that Goyo in play, though. I'm thinking nade. So hopefully will be used effectively here.
10 seconds left.
Again, it can be tricky to have it in the right spots. Just in terms of, you want them to have to expose themselves a little unsafe to take them out if possible.
Attackers are
Or
moving out
even
to
better,
locate a
just have them
bomb
in spots where
and
they
defuse it.
can't take them out easily. Interestingly, he opened up the floor next to the vault door as well. Maybe either to be able to fight people down below in a particular spot, or to be able to stop people from below if they go to plant on that side of the vault door for whatever reason. Well, usually it's the other side of the vault door you have to worry about.
I wonder why that window is opened. I assume that someone, like Hot and Cold, might rotate through there later on in the round.
Yeah, possible. It also could have been that they droned and found someone near there and just trying to pre-fire it just in case.
Possibility.
There's the Goyo shield, at least one on the door, I think. It's hard to say if that one's for sure a Goyo shield or not. The Vulcan shield. Until you see the other side of it. I do like that they look the same, mostly because I like that you have to drone and actually verify what they are. And it didn't look like it. I don't think I saw the metal lips. That might have been standard deployable shield.
It looks like it. No, it is not, actually. See?
Verified? All right, the lip just not big enough to have seen from the previous angle.
So
I gotta drone them.
this is an easy play here from Eclipse. Hyper's already destroyed that shield. Thinking nade running the suppressor here on the shotgun. It's not a bad idea because this gun does 80 damage up to 20 meters without a suppressor.
Yeah, you're not gonna lose a lot of damage.
Yeah, you're still gonna be able to double tap people across the map, so you're good to go.
A bomb
You're
has
fine.
been located.
This guy's spotting a hole there, but trying to use the angle to see if he can spot anyone through it. Just not getting lucky on that. A lot of Jerome position coming out now, but they're trying to figure out where the players are playing in terms of roam, or if they're going for any rotates they could catch them on. As Sky starts to pressure them a little bit off, you see a little bit of barbed wire through the floor as well. Trying to get some intel, and they're just not getting a whole lot. This is similar to watching SSG stall out on their attacks from above. Now instead they're doing it from below. Well, at least they don't have to worry about some of the shields now, but there is at least, I think, one left of the Goyo shields.
I'm not sure where... Is it on 90? Is it at top of it? No, is it on site, though? Not a big question right now.
They could have all been taken out too. Oh, there we go. We see the one right there.
That's the normal shield.
And, no, the one on the other side of the vault door. So if anyone goes to plant on that spot, you can hit it with an impact nade or shoot it from games, and that denies their ability to plant there. That's the kind of spots that I really like to see it on. Similar to the way it was played on Archives. Border. Oh,
There we go. One more for
sees
Fultz. He doesn't see the other one on the floor. He keeps firing and actually close to winning it, but no, he actually does no damage. He'll be able to reload even with 17 bullets left in the magazine. And that box will be refilled. Rampy. Grenades flying over his head, but it'll be alive. Nice. There's a second one being caught up by an ADS. Fultz will find a kill of his own and leaves only one alive as he pre-fires, barely alive in this one. Here, 5 HP left. The smoke will be more than enough. Bosco finds the kill. Spacestation rack up one more on defense.
Bosco, one of the best smokes in the game, too. Easy victory for him there. And all the barbed wire in that hallway definitely helping with that. You see it on the either side of the doorway, I believe. Make it hard for them to push in quickly, because you need to push in quickly. You saw that's the way SSG did it, is they would push in quickly and attack the bar. It's not going to happen for them. DarkZero, now on the serious back foot here, 5-3. They were so good at the side switch. But like I said, sometimes that can carry, sometimes momentum can carry, and so far it has. We're going to see a library again, though. Today is probably the most library we've seen in quite a while. It's just
seen like 3 library?
Yeah. Well, we saw it once earlier from TSM, and it was win, or 1. And then it was once earlier from DarkZero, and they lost it. So we'll see if SSG can pull a TSM here. Just win it. No Goyo for down here, but it's been good to see that it's been used a fair bit with some varying positions for different strategies. I feel like it maybe a little while. It'll be a little while before it becomes a bigger part of the meta, but at the same time, It's always nice to be able to force your opponents to have to bring and use certain utility, and then get the benefit of a really good fragging operator as well on top of it.
10 seconds left before insertion.
Nice Maestro Evil Eye there, kind of hanging out of the plant a little bit in the hallway of the corner.
5 seconds left.
Well, strategy overall with Villa especially, I think, is just that onion. Just keep peeling off and peeling off. That's why Goyo has been so strong in the past few
Add
rounds.
extra layers to the onion.
Yeah, exactly. So you go for the shields plus your standard ones. Fultz and Rampy doing a ton of work here for Spacestation.
Fultz is having an on day.
Definitely.
He's a great player. He just sometimes had off days previously, but he's really been up there today.
So Hyper will drone on in, make sure they're not being contested from below. So no nitro cells are being prepared for DarkZero, at least to greet them in. This is again another power of that Mutant Mozzie combination. You know,
that and the wooden barricades. If you really want to deny them, you know, at least for the mute jammer, set up the wooden barricades because you can't jump over the mute jammers then.
Really slows you down. Well, because the stairs are not jammed, you'll be able to at least walk on in. The default cams are still up, oddly enough, even outside the map, so outside of the building itself. So a bit odd, but here we are.
I feel like
that
Canadian's the biggest proponent of setting up wooden barricades. It seems like. Is that what?
The soft wall that's being played upstairs here in the vault. So
Mozzie got an evil, or he got a drone as well.
I'm gonna turn around, thinking Nate loses the gunfight. Unfortunately, Hyper will be able to find him, and Rampy turning around the corner. Does he see the Zofia? Yes, he does, but unfortunate for him, Hyper was already crouched in ready. So you knew that there were two players who are gonna pick up the 2 kills and your drones at the end of it. This is pretty much a positive all the way through. Rampy thinking Nate lost. Canadian will find one on Skies. At least this slows down DarkZero for just a minute, but Hyper
should be winning any of these fights.
The third one is
3 impossible fights.
This third one out of everything just should not have happened, and he's still alive. Does he have any utility left? That's really the big question on my mind.
Well, we know there's at least 2 Ash charges left for Eclipse.
Use them at this point, like.
Right? Well,
it's really tough to come back from this mentally here.
I mean, SSG had the momentum. This definitely could break it, but it's still, you know, SSG I think will be fine. They have a 2-point lead right now, so even if they lose this round, they're still in charge.
Yep. Of course, Spacestation, the darlings of North America, as some like to call it.
Great. The choking out going. He choked out the defuse planter.
It was a great smoke through the wall here, and you can still use 2 of them. The diffuser will be set as it at least force the attackers off of the wall itself. Yeah, there's nobody there right now. Fult's gonna come around. I'm gonna lose one of those drones that have been set up for rotations. There's a second one. And just spraying everything. Not sure where your opponents are. And you can't really tell. There's one here inside of the vault. You pre-fire, you find Eclipse. There's 3 left. Not much time for it. You're going to have to come around different angles. There's a smoke. This might actually cover the smoke himself to go for that diffuser. There's 2 players that are going to try to rush into him. There's one flashbang shotgun right into hot and cold. Go, stick that diffuser. You're going to have to hold it. Hyper and Mint are in. Bosco will find 1 kill, but DarkZero will take the round. As Bosco's already dead, there's not much that he can just keep on doing. Oh, there we go. He had to rush out. There was no other alternative.
Unfortunately, the Maestro took way too long to rotate to help his teammate. Bosco was fighting a 1-man army there against like 3. And he's not fighting to win. He's fighting just to even get to the diffuser and spend time just typing on a laptop. Really needed Maestro's coverage there. That was definitely not an ideal way to retake it, but Bosco put in a valiant effort. He really tried, like you said, use the smoke to cover for him to try and move up. Fortunately, he was running low on smokes. I think that was his last one. Just doing what he could to try and stop it, but he spent so much time fighting that hole in the floor upstairs that really took him away from his job of trying to stop the defuse from being planted. So good distraction, at least. Now Spacestation going to go upstairs to Trophy, a site they have not played yet. Losing Library, though, not a big deal, but now they've done the tour of all 4 sites. Something we had yet to see from the team here, I think, on... yeah, because we didn't see any of the teams do all 4 yet, I believe. Because we didn't see any trophies, surprisingly, from DarkZero, when I think about it. Interesting.
10 seconds to insertion.
Well, either way, it's still not even yet. DarkZero need to win one more to kind of close the gap a little
5
bit.
seconds to insertion.
But if Spacestation gets one more round, they guarantee themselves the 1 point and a possible tie.
Attackers are
Tie
moving out
is,
to
I think,
locate
in
a
some
bomb
ways,
and
the most
defuse
likely
it.
outcome in this, especially given we had the 3-3 split in the middle. But at the same time, if someone gets up a couple rounds in a row, that could be enough, especially if it's Spacestation to do so now. That would be enough to close things out. Volt still picking up more kills. Mint, though, doing a great job trying to help his team, but everyone else on the team slacking a bit at 4 and 3. Hyper, outside of that last round, hadn't really been showing up a whole lot. But man, did he show up that last round. If he'd been playing like that the previous rounds, I feel like DarkZero would be in the lead here. Nice drone spot there. He almost throwing it like a black eye. Set that up. I like that. Give a good view of 90. Take out, of course, their visibility of 90 by shooting the default cam. To rotate around from behind here. Try and control from the aviator side. More wooden barricades, I'm telling you, it's Canadian probably. He's always setting those up for warning signs and flank coverage, especially as the pulse. He needs to know if they're coming from a particular side that he's not.
Yeah, there you go.
Yet. He loves doing it. I remember seeing him do that back in like Oregon and being like, he just loves setting up those barricades. So if you see SSG having those up, it's probably him. But it works. It definitely helps in giving some idea how they're moving through the map. It allows him to better coordinate his heartbeat sensor, find out how many are moving and from where.
Yeah, Hyper trying to shoot the Valcam there, but he's really afraid of being shot in the back. There we go. Finally finds it.
Yeah, last thing you want to do is get killed trying to shoot some utility.
Yeah. Well, Rampy's watching from the living room, and now there's also the pulse downstairs. Nitro Cell has been thrown up. I think we can hear that. At least we could at some point. Yeah, that was Rampy's, but it's just placed. It's not been used. And Canadian's just giving out information.
Could be calling out even for that particular one to go off, since that way he can stay on his heartbeat sensor. Hyper, though, a little cautious now. I mean, he got lucky with those gunfights last round.
It's a lot of pressure being put here on the bathroom. Not sure about this one, Rampy, though.
Nice try.
He walks on up, and Skies was looking at the right spot at the right time.
Took a little bit of damage, but less than 25.
Walks on into the bathroom, and you can hear that's the Nitro Cell that was preset. Canadians looking around.
Oh, the wood barricade's working against him that time.
No, unfortunately, he couldn't see anyone through that barricade. Hot and cold. We'll be able to find him now at 3v5. There's no Nitro Cells left for this defense here. Spacestation Gaming. Sky's slowly making his way up through the astronomy stairs. Bosco's on the floor, literally in the middle of astronomy. I believe that was second to last smoke canisters that has just been used. And there's the Maestro down on the floor, hot and cold. Great shot, 2K for him in the round. Fultz and Bosco are last in with 14 seconds left. They can just deny this diffuser. This run could be won by Spacestation. They're going to be able to down one, and from behind it's Skies to make this round a flawless one for DarkZero. Fitting well. Just this is such an upgrade of the olden days Skies that we used to see. Was so aggressive, so up in your face, and a lot of times getting himself killed in the process.
I think his time switching more to an IGL and hard breach role on reciprocity helped with that.
Yeah, I think now he's more comfy, he's more calm under fire, and it's really showing. This is the upgrade. This is the Skies of the future.
The sky's the limit now.
I mean, yeah, you are your own limit.
I would hope so. I'm sucked to have another limit. Rampy actually 6-picking over to the Warden. This will be interesting here for Aviator Games. I mean, they are going to probably flash into the room somewhat, but I don't know if they're really going for any kind of smoke, so it's more just for the flashes here, I suppose. Or if he just happens to like the kit, which I doubt. Not necessarily big fans of Warden's kit out there. Part of the reason you don't see him used so much. We'll see how Rampy decides to set him up. He does have one deployable shield. They did have a shuffle a while ago on who had deployable shields as they shuffled it around just prior to the release of the new shields. And definitely prior to the release of Goyo. I'm going to set up the usual reinforcements here on the walls rather than playing a ton of soft walls. Still going to have some, though, from games on into Aviator. One deployable shield set up and guarding the gun vault door.
Attackers are moving out.
I like that they set it up with a little bit of gap that they can move through if needed, but making it hard for the attackers to do that.
Attackers drop the diffuser.
We're just going to see what Fultz can do with the dock. He can play the long angles. I imagine he's going to be guarding 90, taking advantage of his long angles to do so with the ACOG. But we'll see. He can peek it quite often, and then if he doesn't get killed, he can heal himself up as needed. So just try and hold 90 for as long as possible, and that, of course, then holds the doorway into games. Definitely a good idea to do so. Loud Jones coming out, no Mozzie or Mute in play to stop them, but we do have a player getting spotted off in the corner of Study, but someone trying to defend him here, jumping up on the furniture. Now Crouch, it's Fultz trying to back up his teammate Rampy. Gonna go heal him from across the way as he's gotten naded a bit, down to almost half health. There you go, he gets the Doc nade, just time to die.
Those glasses are just, look, those glasses might protect you from being blinded by Intero's bald head.
They don't let you see it coming though.
Unfortunately, it doesn't save you from a grenade.
No. I mean, I like the idea with the Doc though, it's just that was a tough spot to play. They needed more ADSs possibly. I mean, they might have just got Thatchered out.
This is double as bad because one of the Doc charges was also used up.
Yeah, they did waste a little bit of utility.
So yeah, overall great grenade coming up here from Sky, excuse me. So here we are, DarkZero in a good spot. And a lot of these walls
I like
are open.
this. Now I see what that shield is for. To play this long angle, take advantage of the peeking through them with the ACOG. This is great. They are not even going to get into Study at this rate.
What do? You just end up burning all of the utility, and then that
half
shield
their
is
ammo.
dead.
Yeah, I mean, they could definitely take it out once they clear the ADSs, but in the meantime, he's really holding them back here. I mean, they've still got a minute 10 to play with, but if they can't take him out, he's still got some impacts as well if he wants to just chuck one over at them. Trying to also watch the doorway here, but that takes his eye off the other door here in Study. There we go. They're going to take that shield out. Now Maestro has to work for it here. He's just going to use the doorway of the vault to fight it still. But watch a tighter angle towards the door from Classical Hall.
Strong position regardless. So maybe he can find the head. Oh, that's a crouch level push, and he loses it. Eclipse on the reverse rappel.
Great bait from Hyper.
This is fantastic. Now Skies can walk on in. Because of that reinforcement that's set in the middle between the two sites, it's not going to look pretty. It's just will allow DarkZero at some point to walk on in. 2 players lost here for Space Station as Fultz is finding a 90. Smoke will come out from Bosco, and I'll push him in back, but Bosco takes a lot of damage. Eclipse with 1 kill on the Canadian. Smoke canister will go off again, doing even more damage to players in the back, but Han Cole walks on in, and Hyper for the last flawless from DarkZero. Space Station have gone down, and that's round 11. Half match point.
Well, tie incoming possibly.
I mean, it's space tie-in gaming.
I mean, if they go back to Dining, maybe. That's definitely was their primary here, or their first bomb site they played, and it worked pretty well for them. There they go, back to Dining. Seems like the smart play at this point.
Definitely not the round for DarkZero to go dark.
No. And definitely not going 0. We'll see, though. I got to see this tie coming. DarkZero, though, guaranteeing themselves 1 point. So good start for them. Of course, now those points matter a lot to DarkZero because you saw them top the board last season. Managing to come out ahead because of points. And already off to a great start to doing that this season. No Goyo in play here, anything crazy like that, but Canadian going to be back on that pulse. Was fairly effective with it from downstairs here in Dining.
Bomb located by attackers.
Get those evil eyes up as well, trying to get some coverage down here on site. Now, Bosco's going to have to make sure he has some teammate backing him up, as he's been left in a few lone situations that have been a bit of a struggle. Rampy's surprise Maestro definitely has helped with that, but DarkZero seem to have gotten wise to a lot of the plays of Space Station and are just being a bit more methodical about taking out their utility.
10 seconds left.
And then, honestly, just winning a lot of gunfights. It's still helping them. You see a deployable shield there as well. Possibly going to be Maestro playing that, because he is going to be playing maybe the stairs again of Astronomy right there, or maybe not. There's a castle barricade on the Astronomy window to help him be able to play on the stairway, and then also use that shield to his advantage if he needs to go fight in Trophy. Skies, though, had a great round last round. Could be looking to do the same again this round on Sledge. Especially if Hyper can perform like he did the 1 round when he did good. The 1 round he did good. Well, they have enough utility.
You're always so eloquent, though.
I'm trying to keep my street speak up.
Better than going off in lead speak.
Yeah.
So Eclipse watching maybe some runouts here from the kitchen. Nothing will be had. And Hyper opening up the wall here. See, so much soft destruction, of course, coming with the Ash plus Zofia combination. We talk about it so often in here. There's a big reason why it's being brought to deal with shields. But in general, there's so many soft walls. You're not going to be reinforcing everything. It just creates so many extra alleyways.
There's really a lot of rotations you can set up with those because there's a lot of rooms you could just set up rotations between, as you see right there. But the sledge also really adds to that. Not to mention the grenades you get, of course.
Okay, are they going to walk on in? Yeah, but Canadian will hit his Nitro Cell on the Mint. Seems the one player that was inside of the bedroom. Hyper will find a kill on Thinking Nade, and then watching for any rotations. Now more barricades that have been set up everywhere. There's Evil Eyes, but you can't really deal with them, as unfortunately for DarkZero, they're kind of limited on utility.
Yeah,
right
we might have
now.
to sledge those at this point.
And go breaching.
Oh,
I knew it!
rip.
I knew it!
Well, Rampy trying to be surprised Maestro again, sneaking around, but they are going to at least drone now, make sure that their flanks are somewhat clear. Try and drone out the red hallway, make sure they can push here towards this door with the barbed wire on it to kitchen. Get set up for a potential plant in kitchen, possibly, if they want to go that way, depending on how clear the path was.
This is the moment.
For it.
DarkZero, do you have any grenades left? Any utility that you can use? Because right now, it's like Spacestation want to throw everything they've got at you. And Eclipse, okay, this is it. Canadian just spotted Eclipse, and as he took his heartbeat sensor off, that's when Eclipse was able to come on in and find the kill on him. So he's going to try to walk on in. Rampy rotating all the way from below, and faults. No, he's missing all his shots. Going to take some damage here, and the diffuser will be planted. DarkZero looking to close things out as, yeah, Bosco will find hot and cold. That's something that'll help you out in the retake in the 3v3, and Rampy gets one more, but Skies with a refrag on a fault. Bosco now pushing up. He's got the Maestro in the back to help and support him, and this might be the moment, but still have to watch for players upstairs, and these barricades actually play against the defense. You see them breaking things open. Bosco finds one on the Hyper. It's Skies is the last man alive. He's going to watch every single angle on his own, and the first one is going to be looking for is that diffuser. Oh, he goes for one kill, pulls out his L85, and he gets it. Skies with a 2K to clean up the round, and DarkZero with the victory, 7-5. Spacestation not even able to get that tie at the end of the day. Unfortunate, but it happens. Skies, absolutely beautiful play today for DZ in his debut on the squad in PL.
Fantastic. Definitely Skies appropriately clutching that at the end in a situation probably shouldn't have been able to win so easily, but the holes he probably himself had opened in the floor definitely working in his favor. And like you said, the wood barricade's actually working against the defenders there.